Batman is often seen as Gotham's lonely guardian, the Dark Knight who sacrifices family and happiness to fight an endless war. But the truth is, Bruce Wayne has had many children, some by blood, others by adoption, and others born in alternate realities and Elseworlds. These children carry not only his name, but also the weight of his crusade, each reflecting different sides of who Batman is. Some found redemption, some fell into tragedy, and others were erased or forgotten as DC rebooted its universe. Today, we're diving into every child of Batman explained, including the forgotten ones. Damian Wayne, the blood son of Batman. Damian Wayne is the most famous biological son of Bruce Wayne. Introduced in Batman number 655, 2006, by Grant Morrison and Andy Kubert, Damian was the result of a relationship between Bruce and Talia al Ghul, the daughter of Ra's al Ghul. Raised in secret by the League of Assassins, Damian's childhood was anything but normal. From the moment he could walk, he was trained in martial arts, swordplay, stealth, and killing techniques. Unlike Bruce, who was scarred by tragedy and chose the path of Batman, Damian was raised to believe he was destined to be a weapon. When Talia revealed Damian to Bruce, the boy was arrogant, violent, and completely foreign to his father's values. Their early encounters often ended with Bruce frustrated and Damian dismissive, believing himself superior to everyone. But through years of struggle, Bruce's influence began to reshape him. Damian eventually donned the mantle of Robin, fighting alongside his father while still clashing with his siblings. His arc was one of the most dramatic in modern Batman lore, especially during Batman and Robin, 2009 to 2011, where Bruce and Damian learned to function as partners. Damian's death in Batman Incorporated number 8, 2013, at the hands of Heretic, and later Resurrection, solidified his place in Batman's story. Damian is Bruce's greatest pride and greatest test as a father, a constant reminder that blood ties can both strengthen and endanger the mission. Helena Wayne, the daughter of Batman and Catwoman. On DC's Earth 2, Batman found a different destiny. There, Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle put aside their war of masks and built a life together. From their union came Helena Wayne, who first appeared in DC Superstars number 17, 1977. Helena grew up as the daughter of Gotham's most iconic couple, witnessing both her parents' heroism and their attempt to lead normal lives. After Selina was killed in a final confrontation with criminals, Helena took on the mantle of Huntress, fighting crime to honor her parents' legacy. Unlike the Earth 1 Huntress, Helena Wayne's identity was intrinsically tied to Batman and Catwoman's bloodline. She inherited her father's deductive skills and her mother's ferocity, blending both into her own unique style. As a member of the Justice Society of America, Helena stood among legends, proving she was more than just Batman's daughter. Although Crisis on Infinite Earths, 1985, erased her original continuity, Helena Wayne has repeatedly returned in modern reboots. She embodies a dream many fans still cherish, that Batman could find love, family, and a daughter who truly carried on his mission. Bruce Wayne's adopted sons, the Robins. Batman's biological children are few, but his role as a father is most visible in the Robins, the orphans and lost youths he took in, trained, and raised as partners. These young heroes became his family for better and for worse. Dick Grayson, the first Robin, debuted in Detective Comics number 38, 1940. After witnessing his parents' murder during a trapeze act, Dick was adopted by Bruce Wayne, who saw in him the same pain that shaped his own life. Unlike Bruce, Dick retained his sense of optimism and joy, serving as a bright counterbalance to Batman's grim demeanor. Over time, he grew into his own man, adopting the Nightwing persona in Tales of the Teen Titans number 44, 1984. Dick represents Bruce's greatest success, a child who learned from Batman but refused to be consumed by his darkness. Jason Todd, the second Robin, entered in Batman number 357, 1983, but was redefined after Crisis on Infinite Earths, 1985, as a streetwise delinquent. Bruce took him in, hoping to guide his anger, but Jason's impulsiveness made him reckless. His tragic death in Batman, A Death in the Family, 1988, where fans voted for his fate, marked one of the darkest chapters of Batman's history. Resurrected in Under the Red Hood, 2004, Jason returned as a violent vigilante, exposing Bruce's failure as a father. He remains the son who reflects Batman's deepest guilt. Tim Drake, the third Robin, was unique because he chose the mantle through deduction, not tragedy. Debuting in Batman number 436, 1989, Tim discovered Batman's identity on his own and argued that Gotham needed a Robin to keep Batman human after Jason's death. Highly intelligent, disciplined, and deeply loyal, Tim embodied the detective qualities of Bruce while still bringing his own warmth to the role. His long solo series made him a fan favorite, and his leadership of Young Justice and the Teen Titans cemented his legacy. Tim is often seen as the true heir to Batman's mind. Stephanie Brown, the daughter of the villain Clue Master, first appeared in Detective Comics number 647, 1992, as Spoiler. She briefly became Robin in Robin number 126, 2004, but Bruce's mistrust and her inexperience led to her downfall. Her apparent death during War Games, 2004, later retconned, exposed Batman's failures as a mentor. Stephanie remains a controversial but important part of the Bat family, representing the risks of Bruce's choices. Duke Thomas, while not a traditional Robin, became part of the Bat family during We Are Robin, 2015, and later forged his own path as the Signal. With his role as Gotham's daytime protector, Duke symbolizes the new generation of Bat children, showing that Bruce's influence continues to expand beyond the classic Robin identity. Together, the Robins illustrate Batman's evolving parenthood. Dick as his greatest success, Jason as his greatest failure, Tim as his balance, Stephanie as a cautionary tale, and Duke as a sign of the future. Forgotten and Elseworlds children. Beyond main continuity, Batman has fathered children across alternate timelines, Elseworlds, and speculative futures. These forgotten children often represent what might have been, a Bruce Wayne who found love, or a Gotham where his legacy continues through blood. In Kingdom Come, 1996, by Mark Waid and Alex Ross, Batman fathers a daughter with Talia al Ghul. Though not heavily explored, she aligns with the League of Assassins, showing how Batman's bloodline could be twisted into serving his greatest enemies. In The Dark Knight Strikes Again, 2001, by Frank Miller, hints of Batman's offspring appear in a dystopian Gotham, reflecting his relationship with Selina Kyle. John Byrne's Superman and Batman, Generations, 1999 to 2004, is one of the richest explorations of Batman's family. Spanning decades, it portrays Bruce Wayne aging in real time, marrying, and raising children who inherit versions of his mantle. His son, Bruce Wayne Jr., becomes a darker, more ruthless Batman, while his daughter eventually plays a role in the family's ongoing war on crime. These Elseworlds stories highlight DC's fascination with imagining Batman not as a lone soldier, but as a patriarch whose choices ripple across generations. Even in darker tales like Batman, Holy Terror, 1991, alternate versions of Bruce Wayne father children who grow up in warped worlds shaped by religion or dictatorship. These forgotten and non-canon children may not appear often, but they reveal how central the idea of family is to Batman's mythos. Even when DC erases or rewrites them, the idea persists. Terry McGinnis, the spiritual heir. In Batman Beyond, 1999, audiences were introduced to Terry McGinnis, a teenager mentored by an elderly Bruce Wayne in a futuristic Gotham. At first, Terry was simply a chosen successor, wearing a high-tech batsuit while Bruce guided him from the Batcave. But in Batman Beyond, Epilogue, 2005, from Justice League Unlimited, Amanda Waller revealed that Terry's DNA had been engineered to match Bruce's, making him genetically Bruce's son. This revelation reframed Terry's story. He wasn't just a successor, he was Batman's child by design. While not a traditional son, Terry embodies Batman's legacy in the far future, showing how Bruce's influence extends even beyond his own lifetime. Batman's children, whether biological, adopted, alternate, or engineered, tell us that the Dark Knight's story is not just about solitude and sacrifice. It's about legacy. Damian embodies Bruce's bloodline and the constant struggle between violence and compassion. Helena represents the possibility of love and balance. The Robins show Batman's evolution as a mentor, with triumphs and failures etched into each child. The Elseworlds heirs demonstrate how Bruce's choices ripple through the multiverse, while Terry McGinnis proves that even the future of Gotham will always be tied to his shadow. Batman may stand alone on Gotham's rooftops, but in truth, his greatest legacy is not the symbol he created. It is the children who carry it forward. At the end of the day, Batman's legacy is not just written in Gotham's shadows, but in the children who carry his name, his mission, and sometimes even his blood. From Damian's struggle between assassin and hero, to Helena's embodiment of love and justice, to the Robins who each reflect Bruce's triumphs and failures as a mentor, every child of Batman is a piece of his soul-given shape. Even across Elseworlds and into the future with Terry McGinnis, the question of Batman's family shows us that the Dark Knight is not as alone as he seems. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Batman's children, make sure to subscribe to Explained Comics and hit the notification bell so you never miss a breakdown of DC's most fascinating stories. And I want to hear from you. Which of Batman's children do you think best carries his legacy? Damian, Dick Grayson, or maybe even Terry McGinnis? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and your answer might shape the next video.